Okay, Sakurai, I'm very excited about this new Smash Brothers, and I love you for bringing Snake back. But would it be too much to ask for another Metroid character? I know Ridley's too big for this game and all that argument, but oh my god, never mind! While this year's C3 isn't something that I would consider be mind-boggling in general, I can't help but feel a little bit surprised that we didn't get any news regarding Metroid Prime 4, considering the amount of excitement it brought to not only Metroid fans, but Nintendo players in general. To be honest, I wasn't expecting any big announcements or even a release date for this year, but I was hoping we at least got some information on who might be developing the game, or at least a teaser on how Samus might look like alongside an official title of sorts. But however, I do completely understand why the guys over at Nintendo decided not to show anything off this time around, considering that Prime 4 might still be in early development and they like to announce their games once there is something more concrete to be shown, especially in regards to the gameplay department. And to be honest, I'm completely on board with this decision. I'd rather wait a little bit longer and have something amazing that blows me out of the water and that is also closer to the game's actual release than constantly being teased with something that isn't ready to come out yet. So, seeing how it might be a while until we get some more information on Metroid Prime 4, I think it's a good time to have a little reminder of what might be happening behind the scenes. As of now, all we know about Prime 4 is it's being produced by Kensuke Tanabe, who was also involved with the previous games in the Prime series, and that the studio developing the game will not be Retro Studios, according to a couple of different online sources. And so far, the only concrete theory we have for a potential returning villain is Silex from Metroid Prime Hunters. This is because we do see his ship chasing Samus during the cliffhanger scene of Metroid Prime 3, as well as during the secret ending of Federation Force, and Tanabe has also shown interest in developing more of the character's story in the past. But just because good old Uncle Reggie didn't show off anything regarding Prime 4 doesn't mean that Metroid fans didn't get anything to be excited about, since Sakurai finally managed to do what was once thought impossible and gave fans what they wanted by adding Ridley into the roster of the upcoming Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Sure, it took killing off Mega Man and Mario, but hey, it's totally worth it. So why are people going crazy over the addition of this purple, fire and plasma breathing space pterodactyl pirate dragon into the roster, and what could it potentially mean for the Smash franchise in general? Besides all the memes that have come out during the past decade or so. Well, to start, the most obvious reason to why people are excited is that Ridley's the first playable character from the Metroid series that isn't just another version of Samus without her armor. So it's exciting to finally see another character represent this iconic franchise. And while I have mentioned in the past that nowadays there are plenty of other characters to choose from in the series, there really isn't someone as iconic to the franchise other than Samus like her sinister arch nemesis. The other fact is that Ridley is yet another villain that joins the roster, which is something extremely refreshing to see, since the previous Smash game added no major villains, unless you want to count Bowser Jr. And since the majority of the roster is already filled with enough heroes as it is, what better inclusion to the team of the bad guys than the leader of the Space Pirates himself? Then there's also the fact that Ridley has that special wow factor like Ganondorf and Bowser had back in Melee, because before then you really didn't have a way to play as the character, so it's exciting to imagine what it would feel like to control this sinister monster in the battlefield. And on top of this, Ridley's unique body proportions and ruthless battle style in the Metroid games offer a lot of potential to use as a basis to create a fun moveset. And before anyone asks, yes, I think that the size he has in the game is just right. And lastly, another thing that makes Ridley an interesting choice for the roster is that he looks and feels very different than everybody else, in the sense that he's an animalistic type character that has some human-like traits. And by not having that overall cartoony feeling to his render art, it really helps accentuate that air of pure malice and uncontrolled rage that is such a defining characteristic to his personality and isn't quite seen from anyone else in the game. So in the end, seeing a character that's basically made an appearance in some fashion in pretty much every previous game in the series, it's very exciting to finally see Ridley make his big debut as part of the Smash Bros. Roster. And I'm still very excited to see what surprises Nintendo might have for us in regards to Metroid Prime 4 sometime in the future. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. Hey Sakurai, Elma for Smash? Please?